Okay, more things. Other type of walls. If you go to level 1, you can do a wall and again select partition types. You scroll down and you start drawing your walls. This is obviously a museum. It's very convenient. It gives you the perpendicular snaps. It gives you the intersection. It's very easy to change a wall by selecting it. The moving command, you don't have to go up there. It's always under moving command. And if you move something, it somehow is stretching as if it was in AutoCAD, meaning the other wall that is in contact with it is also stretched, and the connection with the exterior wall also stretches up and down. No? That goes with this one. Normally moves parallel to the element. You can also select the wall, the little ingredient, and you can do trimmings and start trimming things. TR shortcut. That's why you didn't see. But somebody asked before, well, how do you get the rotation and all that? It doesn't appear up here because you either have to go to modify and select these elements, or you just select something. Automatically, all your modify tools will appear. Okay. Somebody also told me before, I'm going to the 3D, and you know the brick is towards the inside, not towards the outside. That's freaking me out. So what do? Well, if you go to the level, meaning the plan, and you select any wall, it gives you this little symbol that's swapping or just flips the orientation of the wall. You can do that as many times as you want. Now be careful, obviously, because it may flip, not preserving your axis. So because I draw this with an axis in the exterior, you flip it, it's going to flip from that axis, and it's going to respect that axis. Okay, so be careful with that. Good. So I was doing, without seeing very much, several walls, and I wasn't really paying attention. Again, you have to really check from where to where they're going. That's very important. They were going from level 1 to level 2, which is fine. There they are. Good. Floors. Floors is similar to walls in the sense that you have to pay special attention to where you are and the properties panels when you do them. Okay. Floors is normally here, and you can do a structural floors. We will see later on. Or architectural floors. I'm going to do an architectural floor. This window appears often. Is basically, it's going to ask you, do you want to save it? You want to save it? It happens oftentimes. I don't know if anybody's getting annoyed by that. I just recommend that you save once every 10 times it asks you, or 5 times, because otherwise you might lose the thing. And anyway, I'm going to cancel. The second you say floor, and many other tools actually, you enter into the creation mode, as I said before. You have the X and the approve mark, meaning you have to finish whatever you want to do or cancel whatever you want to do in order to continue on with other tools within Revit. Okay, you could say now I cannot do walls, so I'm frustrated again. Well, if you don't want to achieve that floor, you just say X, and you can continue on with your world. Okay, but you should definitely do your floor if you're doing that. So you can do floors also using the same line drawing, similar to AutoCAD. You can do a rectangle, you can do lines as polylines, etc. You can do curves, any type of line. So the way floors work is that you first draw a rectangle, and actually I'm going to skip that and create a rectangle here in the side. You draw a rectangle first, comes in magenta. Okay? That doesn't look like a floor to me. So it is a floor the second you say OK. Now, before I say OK, I always like to make sure that I'm in level 1, that the offset is set to 0. You might want an offset. Later on, we'll do offsets, etc., etc. So make sure that you are drawing it wherever you want it to draw it, okay? So the moment you say okay, it creates the floor, and you enter to the Revit standard zone. If I go to 3D, here is my floor. And I obviously can select it anytime I want, and I can change where is the floor, the type of floor again, etc., etc. But not only that, in many of these tools, you can select an object the same way we did the walls and say edit boundaries, and it turns the magenta line on, and we're in the edit mode, which is the same as the creation mode, meaning now I can select the lines, move the lines, changes the rectangle, and say I'm good with that change. Say OK, and you have your new floor. Modify. Okay? So edit becomes a tool for floors that is very useful. You're going to try to align the bases of your floor. You're going to try to move the floors as if the objects could be moved. The way to change a floor always is by editing and changing the profile, that magenta line, not the floor itself, okay? So I'm going to delete the floor and do a serious floor on level 1, okay? I'm going to say floor, rectangle. I'm going to snap to the interior. Oops, escape. Snap. Got it. You see these elements? I can say, hey, constrain yourself to those elements. In theory, if I change the grids, it would change the wall, it would change the floor. Convenient. And I'm going to say OK. 3D. I'm going to look from the bottom, and there's the floor. Okay, next floor, level 2. Double click, floor. In this case, just why not? I'm going to change the type of floor. I'm going to select that and say, give me a steel bar joist 14. And I just double check that it's in level 2. Rectangle, snap, snap. I'm also going to lock it there. And I'm going to say, okay, there's this immediate question with floors that you probably have seen. Once you say okay, it's going to tell you, hey, would you like walls to go up to this floor's level to attach to its bottom? That means that when you create a wall, all these walls are going from level to level. And when you create a floor, it's created from the level downwards, meaning they're going to be overlapping floor and wall. And oftentimes you're going to say yes here. I always like to say no. But I'm going to just do 2 times so we see the difference. If I say yes, and actually I'm going to create a section now so we see the difference. Section. And you can go from one view to another, as I said before, by coming down and saying, double clicking on section. Or you can click directly on the symbol itself, which is the triangle area, to go to that view, which is very convenient. This is what happened, something weird. All these partitions were taken down and offset, respecting the floor thickness, but also the exterior wall. So all the walls are set back, okay? So you probably want that sometimes, but not always. So I'm going to just Control-C that. And I'm going to do the wall again. And I'm going to do the section so we see it in live. I like these things of live stuff. Okay, I'm going to see tiles. And we have 1,000, I think. We only want to see some of them. A trick I have is that you can do tiles, TL, or WT, sorry. I have a different, and then ZA to zoom extend. So you can have very easy 2 windows, one next to another in a convenient way. So again, this is how it is, and obviously this type of wall is kind of not perfectly designed. It has a detail in the top. We don't want that. But I'm going to do the wall again from the floor. I'm going to say floor. I'm going to do rectangle and snap here. I'm going to say OK. And this time I'm going to say no, meaning that the partitions are going above and they're overlapping the floor. I particularly don't care because I know how to solve that in a very easy way. Select the walls and attach them to the bottom of the floor. No? Let's see if we can do that. I'm going to stand that. Select one partition, and this tool appears. We're going to use this with the roof right in a second. Say attach top to base, select the floor, and that one comes down. I did it only with one, but I can go to the 3D. I can select everything, and here's a new trick for everybody. You can use the filter. When you select many things in Revit, you can press filter and say, hey, I only want walls. So you uncheck floors, you say OK, and you're selecting only the walls. Now, hey, I don't want that type of wall, so you're going to press Shift to deselect those. And I have all the interior partitions selected. Attach top base. I did? Okay, again, filter. I don't want the floors, only the walls. Deselect. All the exterior walls, and I have the interior partitions. I can say attach top base, select the floor, pop, they all come down. Okay. Next, level 2. I'm going to do several other partitions. Wall, other partition type, and just very simply, this is a loft style. Escape a couple times, 3D, and there they are. Okay. I'm going to do a roof. So for the roofing people, you also have to go to the level where the roof starts. In this case, I know it starts level 2. If you don't remember, you just go to the elevation, check the level. So it starts in level 3, actually, level 3. You say, hey, roof. There's a roof command. The roof is very similar to the floor in the sense that you have to draw a line in magenta and say, hey, yes, approved. So I'm just going to do a rectangle. In this case, I'm going to snap to the exterior. And I'm not going to change it now, but the second you do a roof, there's a slight difference in regards to the magenta line. There's this symbol. I want to just say OK and not do anything to the symbol to see what happens. 3D. Roof. The roof, the same as the floor, allows you to select it and edit the footprint, meaning you go to the magenta line again. You can change the magenta line, you can do as you wish. But another thing you can do and to edit the roof is select one of those lines and somehow change the roof option, the slope option. You have this symbol, you check on define slopes, disappears the symbol, you say OK. It doesn't have a slope. You can do that as many times as you want. Edit, select, define slope. Why not? If you want a flat roof, select, edit, control to select the other line. Okay, flat roof. I'm going to go back because I like the other roof. Say OK. So again, the same command is attached to bottom of your roof or floor. You can select any wall, pressing Control, and you can press attach top base. It's waiting for you to select. Instead of the floor before, I'm going to select the roof. Bah. Now that one didn't change because I think it's a snapping issue. You have to be all the way to the right. So you can select that, edit the footprint, go out, and then say it again. It should go. I'll do it in the next video because this is changed.